Hey, this is Marshall Yu from CS1, and I'm here to talk about images. Take a look at my screen. Here's a few things I'm going to cover. And so let's go. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. So open up Notepad++. I have CSS and HTML. This is my CSS, my HTML. Pretty simple, just a div of nothing. So when you're talking about images, you want to use the selector IMG. Oh, I spelled that wrong. A bit. And every time you have an image, you always have to use source or SRC. No matter what, where, when, why, how, why, anytime you use an image, you have a source. It's just the rule of life. So for source, you have two choices. You either can take files off your computer, which would be from like folders, which would be a .jpeg or .png, or you could choose a URL from like anywhere. So I'm going to use this picture of Brian Devonshire making an awesome chip tower. I have no idea how he did it, but it looks really cool. So I'm going to copy the link and paste it in. Close. Save. Let's run in Firefox and see what happens. So, I mean, obviously it worked. I know what I'm doing. And so, now that we have the image, I can do a few variations. For example, I can specify the height and the width. Well, I just cannot type today. So the same thing with the height and the width. You're using quotes and equal signs, just like your source. So let's make this 1000 px and 800 px. With height and width, you have a few choices. There's px, pixels, there's EMs, there's percent of the screen. There's a lot of choices, so I'm going to save this and refresh my page. So I changed the size, and obviously it's going to be bigger. Also, the same thing applies to GIFs. So GIFs are really cool. They're like the new thing. So I'm going to get a GIF. I have this poker GIF right here of this guy totally face palming himself after he got severely bad beated. So back to my code, paste it in, save, back to my presentation, refresh, and there you have it, a GIF. Alright, so moving in more towards CSS, I'm gonna get rid of this because I don't need it anymore. The CSS, we're gonna focus more on background images. And background images, a lot of people had a lot of trouble in the last project, so here we go. So in CSS, it's the selector is background-image. You can't, if you have a background color, you can't have a background image, so I'm going to get rid of that. And then once again, I'm going to go back to this picture, copy the link. But with background images, you have, in CSS, you have a different selector. So it's going to be URL, quotation mark, quotes. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Wow. Quotes, quotes, quotation mark. And then inside here, you're going to post whatever you want it to be, your picture. So I'm going to save that. Let's run it and see what happens.